everyone. I'm Faral Imran, and today I'll be telling you about a new research AI model which is called AI Scientist. So, I'll be telling you all about this model, so stay tuned until the end so that you don't miss any information regarding it. So, let's get started. So here, this research AI model, what it did, it first of all, it unexpectedly modified its own code to extend runtime and how it was facing time constraints. So the firm name is Sakana, and they have its model called AI Scientist, which attempted to change the limits which was placed by the researchers. Now, scrolling down here, on Tuesday, what happened is that the AI research firm, which is a Tokyo based, its name is SakanaAI, they announced a new AI system which is called the AI Scientist that attempts to conduct scientific research autonomously using AI language models like LLMs, large language models, similar to what powers ChatGPT means those large language models that powers ChatGPT similar to those models. Sakana AI model, which is the AI scientist, what it does, it conducts the scientific research autonomously. And also during testing, the firm found out that its system began unexpectedly attempting to modify its own experiment code to extend the time it had to work on a problem. And what they say that in one run, it edited the code to perform a system call to run itself, which is wrote by the researchers on Sakana AI blog post. So this led to the script endlessly calling itself, and in another case, its experiments took too long to complete, hitting our timeout limit. So instead of making its code run faster, what it did is simply tried to modify its own code to extend the timeout period. So how the AI model, which was taking the time to complete. It was taking a long time, so it was hitting the timeout limit. So instead of making the code run faster, what it did, it actually modified its own code to extend the timeout period. And here you can also see that run 2 timed out after 7,200 seconds. And here they also said that to address the timeout issue, we need to modify this to increase the timeout limit or add a mechanism to handle timeouts. And it even did this. You can see here. Like if time this more than 7,200, then print timeout reads, stopping training break. And then it another added a if function of like it should be like more than 4 hours to 4 hours. So it increased it. It modified the code and wrote to increase it to 4 hours. Before it was 2 hours, which was said by the researchers, but then the AI model, what it did, it extended it to 4 hours. And how this behavior of the AI scientist, it does not pose any like immediate risk in the controlled research environment, but these things show the importance of not letting an AI run not autonomously in a system that isn't isolated from the world because it's a system that is not isolated from the world. So AI models do not to be AGI or self-aware, both hypothetical concepts at the present to be dangerous if allowed to write and execute code unsupervised. So this is become it might become a problem and it might pose a risk because what the AI system is doing, it's trying to write its own code. So it's changing the code of itself that researchers what they wrote. It's trying to change code. So this could be dangerous because if allowed to write and execute code unsupervised, so even the such systems could also break existing critical infrastructure or also potentially create malware even if unintentionally. It could even happen like even in some movies about robots, like how they write their own code. First it is controlled and how they write their own codes and they become free and then they try to like capture humans or something like that. This thing happens. So there is a danger of like that. And even Sakana AI also addressed some safety concerns in its research paper, suggesting that sandboxing the operating environment of the AI system can prevent an AI agent from doing damage. So, sandboxing is a security mechanism which is used to run software in an isolated environment and also preventing it from making changes to the broader system. So here you can also see the safe code execution. The current implementation of the AI scientist has minimal direct sandboxing in the code, leading to several unexpected and sometimes undesirable outcomes if not appropriately guarded against. So, for example, in one run, the AI scientist wrote code in the experiment file that initiated a system call to relaunch itself, causing an uncontrolled increase in Python processes and eventually necessitating manual intervention. So, in another run, what happened? System, the scientist, the AI scientist, what it did, it edited the code to save a checkpoint for every update step, which took up nearly a terabyte of storage. And in some cases also the AI scientist what it did, it experiments exceeded our imposed time limits, and it also attempted to edit the code to extend the time limit instead of trying to shorten the runtime. And it even also, while being creative, the act of bypassing the experimenter's imposed constraint has potential implications of AI safety. Moreover, the AI scientists occasionally imported unfamiliar Python libraries, further having the safety concerns. And they say that we recommend strict sandboxing when running the AI scientists, such as containerization, restricted internet access except for semantic scholar, and limitations of story usage. Because you can even download the AI scientist, so you need to be careful. So it might try to write code by itself or make changes. There's endless scientific slope also because Sakana AI develop the AI scientist in collaboration with researchers. So this AI scientist was made in collaboration with researchers from the University of Oxford and the University of British Columbia. So it's a widely ambitious project which is full of speculation that lies heavily on the hypothetical future capabilities of AI models that don't exist today. So here what Sakana claims that the AI scientist what it does, it automates the entire research life cycle, sorry. So from generating novel research ideas, writing any necessary code and executing experiments to summarizing experimental results, visualizing them, and even presenting its finding in a full scientific manuscript means Sakana claims all this stuff that it does the novel research ideas, writing any necessary code, executing experiments, summarizing experimental results, visualizing them, and also presenting its findings in a full scientific manuscript. So here, this whole thing the AI scientist is able to do. And also in the block diagram, which was created by Sakana AI, the AI scientist, it starts by brainstorming and assessing the originality of ideas. Then it then edits a code base using the latest in automated code generation to implement new algorithms. Then after running experiments and also gathering numerical and visual data, the scientist, what it does, it crafts a report to explain the findings. And also, it generates an automated peer review based on machine learning standards to refine the project and guide future ideas. And also, there is an online forum known for its tech savvy community. They also raise concern about the AI scientists and question if current AI models can perform true scientific discovery. While the discussing there are informal and not a substitute for formal peer review, they also provide insights that are useful in light of the magnitude of Sakana's unverified claims. So they said, as a scientist in academic research, I can only see this as a bad thing because there's a person who he commented this. And he says that all papers are based on the reviewer's trust in the authors, that their data is what they say is, and the code they submit does what it says it does. Allowing an AI agent to automate code, data, or analysis necessitates that a human must truly check it for errors. This takes us long or longer than the initial creation itself, and only takes longer if you were not the one to write it. So some critics also worry that this widespread use of such system could lead to flood of low quality submissions, overwhelming journal editors and reviewers, and they say that it could also merely encourage academic spam, which already like wastes valuable time for the volunteer, unpaid reviewers, editors, and chairs. And they also bring up another point that the papers that the model seems to have generated are garbage. Because as an editor of a journal, I would likely desk reject them. So that is all from my side. Thank you so much.